It's Miss Cool coming on here on Uncomfortable Conversation. Something people really don't want to hear about. Oh, well, wah. I can come on here and talk about some good memories, but I can also come on here and talk about the world today. What's going on with all the flower, bud, stoner highs, cookies, nuggets, whatever you want to call them. We just have to have them in our life, and we have to get high with our kids because this mentality needs to be addressed. Just because, this stuff's legal, just because alcohol's legal doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. Do you guys know that? Do you realize that you're hurting people? You're especially hurting a young mind, okay? Because of the pressure of some of these people getting high with their kids and just using these substances, to introduce them to, first of all, you ought not get high with your kids. Did you get that? You ought not. I don't know where that came from, but sometimes I pick up some slang from somewhere. Today, besides, I'm going to jump something right now. If you don't like this, jump off here, because I'm gonna talk to you about how I feel, okay? I'm going to address, this legalization of marijuana that's not for sick people, but for mostly stoners, blazers, people that can't handle any stress, always crying the blues, always talking shit about how they can't handle life. I think it's ridiculous, and I'm always going to be the person that says feel pain. Because then God can come in. I'm not perfect. I can talk about God and say I'm not perfect. So calm down out there. Calm down if you're looking at me saying, oh, she said God and she's not perfect. Oh, she said God and I'm going to remember every bad thing she ever did. Why don't you do it? Because you know what? I'm sick of it. People need to come on here and really complain about the world today and just let you know that, as a young girl growing up, I really didn't have parents that really, sat down and talked to me, about life, A lot of people you meet are really toxic. A lot of people that are hurting in the world have come from families that have just kind of like were too busy with their self. And you know what? I'm not a victim, but I can fall back into that very quick. But for those family members, people that have been in my life, marriages that have failed, I'm not saying I didn't put anything into it. And I'm not saying that I have been a perfect person. But Miss Cool cannot stand addicts. And all the time, I want to address it because it robs you. It robs you of real love. It robs you of like real feelings, And these real feelings are valuable to younger people. If you think a younger person needs to get drunk or needs to get high, or you're a friend to them, or you're a parent, you need to kind of say, look, I know maybe you're going to experience it, but for me, I need to tell you now that it can be addictive. It can turn into so I met a lot of alcoholics in my life. It can turn into like when you take that first drink, right? Most people are like, ugh, or they're dizzy, or it affects them that way. Okay, guess what alcohol does the next few times that you're drinking it and stuff? Then all of a sudden, you're not dizzy. Ooh, we got a problem. Then next time, we're kind of like feeling like I feel better about my life and my problems. Isn't alcohol supposed to make you dizzy? Isn't alcohol supposed to make you kind of sway and not make good decisions or move in the right direction? Or else, how come they say it's against the law to drive with it if it was that great? So listen, I'm not like this stiff-necked, judgmental, repulsive person. But what I am telling you is things are out of control today with the legalization of marijuana and, of course, alcohol has been going on. Now, for most of you, you'll say, well, you're overweight or maybe, you're at health risk because you eat too much. Well, you can say that and I appreciate that. Or you can say anything you want to say. But I'm telling you right now, as parents, you shouldn't be getting high with your kids. You really shouldn't. Shame on you if you're asking a younger person to do that with you and you're older. Let these kids grow up, experience it maybe with another kid, but do you actually have to introduce them to like things that you are? I've seen it in my life. I'm going to come on here as Miss Cool. I'm going to address some things that people aren't going to be comfortable hearing. But I've met people and you think they're really nice and stuff. And then you start noticing things about their personal behavior, why you can't get along with them, why you're not meshing with them. You can say God's helping you with that. You can say anything you want, but they did have that phrase, birds of a feather flock together. But it's a good idea to live a life where you're learning. And I'm distracted a lot of times because of a chemical imbalance. I don't self-medicate, but I can tell you something, my life is better. My life is better not on any medication. I sleep good. I can think things through. I have a temper. I get aggravated. I don't seem to get along with a lot of people. And there could be some growth issues there on my part I need to do to understand. But it seems like if I do understand and I do get caught up in other people's problems, I go back to this victim trying to fix people, codependent. And I'm honest about these things because I can't fix anybody. The only person I can fix is me. And I've had family members use me for money. They know that if they tell me certain things, I'm going to go, oh, let me help you. And people in my life that I've done that for. And it's ended up really, really hurting me. And being alone is a wonderful thing. But, in that word, A-L-O-N-E is one. So, you just have to come on here like I'm doing now and share. And for those of you making fun of me or you got something to say, I challenge you to get on and talk about your feelings. Talk about what life has done for you and be accountable. Be accountable when to say no, to hang up a phone, to not let others frustrate you. Because I'm not really good at it. I react. But the times that I haven't reacted to people that are just being like really, really, really rude to me, wanting me to react to things that they know are truthful and they just live for that reaction. In the long run, the world and our spirit will teach us otherwise. I've had to learn the hard way. But it's Miss Cool coming on here, telling you about the good things, telling you about love too, We are not going to get along and love everybody. But if we figure it out and focus on the ones that do love us, life is going to be better because then you can really build some big trust. You can really say, you know what, I can be kind to people, but I don't have to get too involved. Because trust me, you're not going to want to get involved with people that are getting high with younger people, that are getting wasted, that are getting drunk. They have like all these different personalities, I'm not saying that I haven't been wild in my life, but, and I've made my share of mistakes. The difference is I'm upfront about it. I'm like totally being the person that says, hey, you guys want to talk about addicts? You want to talk about recovering addicts? Do you want to talk about it's all about them and they need more attention so they don't use? And it seems like the addicts and stuff don't really want to address what they've done to other people. That's kind of a trigger for me, so I have to kind of watch what I say. My hair got caught in this ring. But the thing we need to do, and I need to get off of here, is try to understand one another because it's really hard when you've been hurt. See, when you've been hurt and stuff like that, it kind of makes a wall around you. So you're not really able to trust others or able to try again or take risks. And life is risky. But, you can be addicted to that too. For people that drive really, really fast and scare other people in their fast cars, my son's one of them. I'm addressing you, Ryan. It's not very nice to do that, okay? It's not very nice to push your beliefs on other people because you're either in their environment. I noticed that if you mind your own business and you stay home or you go to safe places, you're not really in an area where people can attack you with their beliefs or things like that. So most of the people that have used me or hurt me and know that I know they have, they pretty much are gone. Could God have removed them? Pretty much. Could I have came to the end of my rope with them? Pretty much. Do I choose a better life without being manipulated and guilted for others that can do things for themselves that I stepped in and did to validate who I was because I was codependent? That was a matter. I have. So, enough of the shout out. I just want to get on here and talk about growth. When we grow, we have to be able to see others growing. If you can't see someone else growing and you think that you're the only one growing, that's really wrong. Everybody's growing or trying. But if you see the same pattern continually and they're destructive and they can't admit things or they're not honest, I mean, most people are just hiding everything. And then if you get a glimpse of somebody that you thought was who you thought, and, it really kind of almost gives you a gag reflex. You're like, whoa, I never really thought that person was, able to, to live that lifestyle that they're pretending and hiding or their real feelings. You kind of need to readjust. You need to kind of back up and just go, whoa, because, I've hid some of my feelings, but I feel like it's better to deal with them, because the therapists have always told me, you can't bury anger. So what we do is just really, someone can feel it too, if they know that you're kind of like at the end of your ropes with them. I've been like that with so many people. I've been like that with myself. They say the worst battles are with yourself, like to overcome things. But I'm so grateful. And if I'm grateful and if I'm thankful and if I'm accountable and if I'm ever learning, then I'm okay, But I'm in my space, and your space is very important, you guys. Stay in your space. Try to be equipped. I get really angry. I can curse and I can swear and I can get really mad. But, I just I'm putting mud all over me. I'm just washing myself in mud when I let my reactions be so negative, and it's dirt, it's filth, and it's hard to get it off you. It's uncomfortable. So that's what I have to say today about anger, reaction. I seem to talk about the same topic sometimes, you guys, because, we're still learning, right? And take a good inventory of your feelings and how you feel, and pull back. They say that if people aren't listening to you, don't talk to them no more. So I know people are listening to me. I don't have thousands of followers. And trust me, TikTok's really hard to get going on. I just seem to dance on it. But I'm learning and I'm trying. I get frustrated easy. I want to learn things really fast. And sometimes I can't learn things really fast. I'm not saying I'm handicapped in that area. I'm just saying that it's an overload. Sometimes I have a hard time focusing on things that I would rather focus on faster. So we have to be patient with ourselves, right? So I want to learn things quicker than I need to. And isn't it beautiful that people learn things faster than you on some things? And then some other people don't even realize they're at a faster pace on other things. The important thing is when we see that, not to have an ego about it and say, wow, I'm going to compare my speed to yours. I'm going to compare my life to yours. For all of us human beings that can step out and really understand one another without criticizing. I criticize people sometimes because it gets on my nerves. But trust me, when I'm alone, and I think of the day, and I think of the things I could have done and should have said, I don't have a problem going back and apologizing again. And for you people that think, oh, medication's going to be your answer, listen, it's triggers. You've got to control yourself. I'm not saying medication can't take your blood pressure down, but people that are on all these psychiatric meds to get some rest or to cope with their feelings, it might be a good idea to get underneath that and get a foundation of what is making you react. Trust me, I'm drowning most of the time in my reactions, but I'm here today to tell you, behind, every story and everything in your life, you can make some better choices. So it's Miss Cole getting off here today saying, make some better choices. try to understand somebody. And I know I talk too much. But there's been times when I have listened. If somebody's trying to overtalk me or not really being nice or kind to me and making these facials at me or angry or people in stores, a lot of times I'm able to walk away. A lot of times I'm able to be kind to strangers. But there's a lot of times that are I could have handled different. So it's Miss Cool saying, try to handle your life different when people are intentionally triggering you, intentionally want a reaction, which goes on daily. It's only going to make you stronger, all right? So it's Miss Cool saying, have a good day, and God bless you.